In today's edition of Fusion Friday, I'm going to show you how we can draw this candy cane. So let's get started. I'm going to open up a new project here. I'm going to go to my sketch. I'm going to pick a work plane. Now, this is going to be really important that we actually start this on the origin. So I'm going to start a line. I'm going to draw it straight up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to left click on that endpoint, and I'm going to hold down and I'm going to drag open an arc. And I'm going to bring it down here just a little bit. I'm going to hit escape to get out of that command. Next, I want to add some dimensions. So I'm going to make this little candy cane about 5 inches. And I want to give this a radius, and we're going to call that radius 1. So there is my path that we're going to be following. I'm going to finish the sketch. I'm going to start a new sketch, and I'm going to go into my home view, and I want to make sure I pick this plane right here. I want to look perpendicular to my path that I just drew. And I want to start a circle. And I'm going to start right at that origin point. So it's perpendicular to my path. And this is going to be 0.45 inches. I want to draw another circle concentric to that one. So right at the same point, I'm going to bring that out. I'm going to get 0.44 inches. And they're going to be very close. Next, I'm going to draw 4 lines. So I'm going to draw a line from that center point, straight up, exit out, draw another line from that center point, straight down, escape out. Another line from that center point, straight over, escape out. And the last one more line from that center point, straight over, and escape out. Now I'm going to want to zoom here, and I'm going to trim out some of these curves. So the first curve I'm going to trim out is this outer one. The next one, I'm going to do the inner one. Then I'm going to do the outer one. And then I'm going to do the inner one. So I have this, if I look carefully, I have this little indent in my circles. That's going to help me make my little curve. So I'm going to finish my sketch, go to my home view. So I want to go over to create. I'm going to go down to sweep. Well, it's asking for my profile. So now I have to come down here, and I need to pick all 4 of those little quarter circles. Next, I'm going to go up and select my path. And there's my path. Now, this is where I want to put a little twist in my candy cane. So down here, I'm going to parentheses, 360 degrees times 2. I'm going to put 2 twists in here. And then I'm going to close my parentheses. And then I'm going to hit OK. All right. And if I touch it, you can kind of see the twists that are in there. We're going to actually color these in a second. My candy cane is not going to be flat on the bottom, so I want to put a little curve on the bottom of both those. So I'm going to spin around. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And on the bottom of this piece, I'm going to put a new sketch. Now, I want to zoom in because I want to show you where I'm going to grab. I need to grab the midpoint of some of these arcs. So I'm going to go to a line command. I'm going to move along here until I see that little triangle appear. That's telling me I'm in the midpoint of that arc. I'm going to come over this other side and draw another line right to the midpoint. And you should notice that it goes right through that origin. So that's telling me I'm pretty good. So I'm going to finish my sketch. I'm going to go to my revolve command. I'm going to pick 1/2 of this circle. My axis will be that line I just drew. And now I want to revolve this 180 degrees. So I'm going to put in 180. And I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to go back to my home view. I'm going to spin around a little bit and look at the bottom of my other piece. We'll put a new sketch on here, and we're going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to make a line. I'm going to grab the midpoint. There's my little triangle. It appears. I'm going to come over this other side and scroll along. There's my little triangle. So that's the midpoint of that arc. I'm going to finish that sketch. I'm going to go to revolve, half my circle. I'm going to select my axis. And right there, and I created a little curve on the bottom of both those. So I rounded off both those edges. So looking pretty good right now. All right, we're almost finished. So now I need to start coloring in my little candy cane. So I'm going to go to Modify and Appearance. And the first one is I'm going to grab this glossy white. So I went down, I got my paint, and I'm going to come over here, and I could paint the whole thing white. But now I need to put my stripes in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, and when I see one of these twists like this, I'm going to click on it, and it's going to highlight blue. I'm going to grab my red and put it on that right there. Well, there's another twist just above it. So I'm going to click on that one and paint that red. And now I got to see where these twists go onto my candy cane. So I'm going to spin this around a little bit. And there's one right there. So that's where it starts. So I'm going to come up here, grab that little twist, paint that red. I'll spin it around again. And there's the end of that one right here. So I'm going to click right at the end. There's that other twist. I'm going to click on it, highlight it blue, paint it red. So now I need to take care of my little endpoints here. So there's that. So I'm going to come here and click on the end of that, and I'll paint that one red. I will zoom out a little bit. I'm going to spin around so I can get the other side. There's that little piece. I'm going to paint that red. And the last, I'm going to do the same thing for the bottom. There's that little piece right there. I'm going to paint that red. And if I spin around just a little bit more, I see where that stripe ends. So I'm going to come in here and I need to highlight it first and then paint that red. If I go to my little home view, you can see that I have my candy cane all set. Hope you enjoyed this video.